This H3H3 situation is going extremely viral, as expected, by the way. It's not surprising anybody. But the lengths of how deep this is going to go, I think we'll start to explore new areas of YouTube and legalities that nobody has seen before. This comes from Grums. It says, Ethan has masterfully pit his three enemies against each other, who are now competing for legal defense money. Poorly. Socialist Hassan is nowhere to be found, neither donating or shilling much for his Orbiter's defense. And this video comes to us from Yeet. Let's check it out.
Although I think nobody really cares about any of these people, least of all Hassan, who is not opening his wallet, by the way. They've each made everybody's made a GoFundMe. Denims ran. She was so fast, and she wanted to open.
Denims was like, while his video was out there, like it felt like that's how fast it was. I couldn't believe how quickly she got a GoFundMe up. That was crazy fast.
But hers before Kaceytron and Frogan.
Well, to be fair, she had an account.
It doesn't
She
take
already
long
had
to
an
make
account because she opened one and closed it.
Right, that's what I mean. So
I think
she got to, exactly. She didn't need to do that stuff.
So they all now have a GoFundMe, and I think it's so funny that now that they're competing against each other for defense dollars, and Smog the Dragon, aka Hassan Piker, the communist, socialist savior, he is not opening his wallet. He is not promoting. He's barely promoted their GoFundMe's.
He did.
Why would he not donate anything, but he would promote them? That's kind of hypocritical. It's like, hey guys, we need to support this awful lawsuit from H3H3. So here's the GoFundMe's. Meanwhile, he doesn't donate himself.
He gave them a very mild shout out. And he didn't donate. Why the fuck wouldn't he donate at least?
Right.
That I don't know.
Like, why he's saying you guys go support them. I'm not. That's what he said.
Very interesting.
I don't think he did not say I'm not. He didn't say that.
by not donating, that is what Ethan is.
He's Mr. Generosity, isn't he?
Like a token donation for some of your strongest soldiers would be warranted.
He's Mr. Generosity. He's Mr. Charity. He couldn't even drop
it might be coming. Might be coming.
Oh, he's got to do it on camera.
Better come.
A good point. I don't know when his stream schedule is, but he might be doing it on stream. That could happen.
It better come a lot because their GoFundMe's so far are not going well. It turns out when it comes to defending them against what's pretty obviously egregious, undefensible behavior, and not just fueled by hating me, which is what Frogan's initial promise was. Not that she raised, what did she raise? Like 40,000 or something?
Last time?
Yeah.
So that is the video of them chatting about it. What we need to do, though, is dive into the actual GoFundMe's, because this situation is absurd, to put it lightly. I went to do some quick research on this, and I even posted about it on X earlier. I said, I asked for exactly what was required for my initial retainer for defense against a crazed lunatic. These bitches out here making it a business opportunity for straight up stealing content. We are not the same. And I have screenshots from each of their GoFundMe's, but we're going to go through each of them in particular to see what they're actually at right now, because this was a few hours ago. So we'll start with Denims. Denims is asking for $100,000 for attorney fees and defense. Oh, by the way, I'm not saying that it might not get that expensive, because in all likelihood, it probably will. Because having a lawyer gets very expensive very quickly, as I've learned myself. For those of you that don't know, I made an update about what I was paying Ron Coleman a couple weeks ago, but I have not officially announced how much I've given to him, because he had requested to keep that private for right now. But eventually I can make it public when he says that it's okay to, because right now he even said to me, he's like, I'd like to keep my fees private currently for what's happening right now. I said, okay, that's fair. But when it's okay, I'm going to tell people what I paid him. And I think there's a strategic purpose for that as well. But again, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. So I paid him the $25,000 retainer initially for my lawsuit that I'm dealing with against Alyssa Mercante right now. That $25,000 has been completely used. It's gone in lawyer fees. $25,000, literally a brand new car. Probably not a nice car these days, but still a brand new car. $25,000 pissed on and lighted on fire. It's gone. Now we're entering the portion of the surplus funds that I got, that I sent a substantial amount of that to him. And I will be updating you guys when I'm able to about where we're at with that. But suffice it to say, $100,000 is not out of the question for basic defense, like absolute basic for a lawsuit. So okay, Denims is asking for 100,000, but does she even have a lawyer? Like what is this money going to? How do we know how you're going to use it? What even is this? So this was a few hours ago. Let me refresh it. 8,239. Let's see what it's at right now. 8,520. $8,520. That's pretty good for the situation that she's facing right now. Someone gave $500. Okay, that's great. But that's actually a terrible amount considering how big of a content creator she is. $8,500 is and this is like strike while the iron's hot while everyone's talking about it. This is a drop in the ocean. $8,500 on the first day. Eesh. Not great. Not great. And then we go over to Asmongold talking about Denims in particular and her GoFundMe. So before we move on to the next one, let's listen to what Grum said, and then Asmongold. Grum says, when you donate to Denims, you're just giving money to Ethan. When she loses, she has to pay, and it's going to Ethan. She got caught in 4K, not even watching his video and walking away, then coming back and telling her fans not to give him views and give them to her instead for his content.
Of course, people think it, but why would you say it?
Why would you say it? She straight up told people, watch me instead of watching him. I will give you the view and you don't have to give it to him. That's basically the synopsis of what Asmongold is saying here. And then we move on to the next one. Frogan. First off, that image, I mean, damn, girl. Damn. That's going to get you money? Okay. That's the image you're going with? Just staring like soullessly into the camera? Okay. So this was a few hours ago. Now, Frogan, interestingly, doesn't want 100,000. She wants $200,000 for being sued for stealing content and admitting to stealing it. She wants you to pay her money to defend her for stealing content blatantly. Refresh it. She is over $10,000. She's over $10,000. For what? For what? That's the thing. Like, you go over to Denims. Ethan Klein is suing me for a reaction to his video on Hassan, content nuke Hassan Piker. This fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with this complaint. And then Frogan has a little bit more detail. After nearly 2 years of targeted harassment campaign against me, guys, who does this sound like to you? What kind of person would say this kind of thing? A targeted harassment. Let me paint myself as the victim here. A targeted harassment campaign against me Ethan Klein is now escalating his targeted harassment into suing me for reacting to his video on Hassan and myself on his video titled Content Nuke Hassan Piker. This fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with this complaint, any counterclaims I may have against him, and like what? Counterclaims. So this is straight up stealing money from people. Like, hey guys, I might use it for a counterclaim. I might not. But either way, send me your money and I'll decide what I'll do with it. That's what I'm reading with this shit. This is crazy to me to even write it like this, because they are getting away scot-free with basically using this as a slush fund to just be like, yep, give me money and I'll use it towards legal defense. Maybe. What if they don't? What if they get activist lawyers? What if I don't know, what if Alyssa Mercante's lawyers or other activist lawyers out there are like, hey, I will take your defense because this case works for my situation and I'll do it pro bono. Then what do you do with all this money? It's weird. Makes you wonder. And any other bills and personal expenses from lost wages and damages arising from this litigation. These people, I can't with. I genuinely cannot do it with these people. And now, and this might be my favorite one, Kaceytron's legal defense. Now, earlier today, it was at $2,000. Congratulations, Casey. I'm going to assume she's the lowest of the three. Let's see. We'll refresh it. Oof. $2,300 out of the $100,000 goal. Kaceytron's legal defense is pathetically embarrassing. Ethan Klein is suing me for reacting to his video on Hassan, Content Nuke Hassan Piker. This fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with his complaint, Kaceytron. And that's the picture that she ended up using. And I got to be honest, this is so embarrassing and bad financially, and just the image that was used. Like, at least Frogan's like the, hey guys, I'm clearly a woman and I got a hijab or whatever on, and I'm a marginalized and I'm dealing with targeted harassment and hate campaign and all this other stuff. Look, I'm sad here. I'm sad. At least she's got that going on. And in a weird way, you could say that was smart of her to do that. You can go back over to Denims and it's like copyright. Like literally no effort at all went into this at all. It's crazy. And the comments, by the way, are hysterical. Hey, Ethan, please enjoy these $5. People are donating to them like as a joke, knowing that it's going to Ethan, like as a donation to Ethan. This is like a way of money laundering at this point. So she doesn't even have any fans donating to her. These are all people that hate watch her, that are giving money to her, knowing that it's going to be going to H3H3, which is hysterical. It's absolutely hysterical. But again, I go back to my original point with this of, why are they asking for $100,000 to $200,000? I guess, I mean, shoot for the moon, but there's zero transparency with what they're doing with the money. And for some reason, I guess if you're a bigger creator, you can get away with being super shady and people don't question it. If I were to do something like this and just say, yeah, I need $200,000, guys, I'll decide what to do with it, but I need $200,000. That's shady as fuck. Like, how about I just tell people when I need money and what I need it for as we go, and hopefully people are there for me. I'm not going to try to turn this into a business opportunity and milk money out of people for it. That's not what this is about. But when I see them asking for $100,000 to $200,000 right out of the gate with no plan, I can't help but think that there's something more nefarious going on with all of this. But that is their GoFundMe situation. And you compare it compare it to mine, by the way. Let's just look at this. The effort. Like, I put a lot of thought into it. I put the goal as what the original retainer fee was. Raised $61,438 so far. It will continue to go up, and most likely I will need more than this. Most likely. But I'm not going to be asking for that until I do, because maybe I don't. Maybe it doesn't need it more than that. And if that's the case, I don't want to be put in an awkward position where I asked for people's hard-earned money for something that I didn't need it for. So I don't ever want to do that to someone. But the way it's going, if the judge does not throw this out, it will definitely need more than this. If it gets thrown out, then no, I don't need more than this. I would think. But this is the effort I put into it. Like, you remember what we just read for what they said. Here's what I said. Alyssa Mercante, senior editor, former senior editor at Kotaku, has taken a long-standing obsession with attacking my professional coverage of video game industry at a dangerous new level. She's now escalating her feud by filing an outrageous and baseless lawsuit against me in the United States District Court, Eastern District, New York. The lawsuit is nothing more than a blatant attempt to silence me, harm my reputation, and put me and my family at risk, all while keeping her name in the headlines and maintaining her relevance. This 54-page lawsuit, and I talk about everything. I go through all the details of everything specific, why I need the money, and exactly how much I need, and what I'm going to be using it for. And then we have Ethan Klein is suing me for reacting to his video. Give me $100,000. These people don't even know what it's like to work for and earn money. They just think it's so easy. They just like, I'm big. Just give me $100,000. I can make $100,000 easy. So you guys probably can too. So just give me money, guys. That's literally the mindset that I feel like they have. And nothing more sweet than seeing their donation funds fall well short. She's at 9% after one full day, pretty much, of a GoFundMe. And this is typically the biggest day of it. Maybe the second day might be like, you might get that second day bump where she might get up to like 20 or 23% of the $100,000. And then it's going to drop off like a cliff. And they are screwed if this actually does. They're going to be begging Ethan to settle. They're going to be begging. They're going to be, please settle. We don't want to keep going with this. What do you want? What can we do? And he knows he's got them. He's got them by the nuts. Yeah. Toxin says they didn't react to the videos. They let the video play on purpose to siphon his views, and they admit it. He knew they would do that and copyright his video to trap them. Yep, 100%. Smash, remind us what percent you had after the first day. I'm pretty sure the first day I already surpassed 25,000. I think we had over 100% in the first like 6 hours. I think it was like at $27,000 in like 6 or 7 hours. Again, and I am like a tiny YouTuber in the grand scheme compared to these people. So I think it speaks volumes to the rationale and mentality where you treat people that they're treating their viewers like morons, and they think money grows on trees, and they're like, just give me money because reasons. I'm still beyond flabbergasted at this approach. You think that they'd come to grips with something, be like, I screwed up, admit it, and be like, I need your help, guys, to fight this, but I wasn't smart about this. I need to be better. They're gonna deny and be like, nope, I didn't do anything wrong. We're good. We're good. Just assume that it's against women. It's a hate campaign. The shield that typically works in 2019, 2020, the believe all women. It's a hate campaign, that whole thing. Let's just fall back on that old crutch. Smash, it's not the size of the creator, but the size of their heart. That is why you had more support than them. You have a bigger heart. I appreciate that. I also think not only is it just a bigger heart, I think people see an actual injustice and they stand up against it and want to fight against it, as opposed to what's happening here. And people are pretty clear as day when Ethan Klein just laid it out for him. Like, and that was a fantastic banger video from H3H3, where it's like, here's what I did, Library of Congress. I knew they were going to do this. They did this, but they even went further. They said, I'm doing this and I'm going to do this to him. And he's like, no, you can't say those things. That's actually stealing content and you're admitting to doing it. Do I think it's a slam dunk case? No, I don't. Because you never know what the courts are going to say about fair use. And fair use has a very loose meaning. And it depends on the judge, and it's all up to interpretation. So nothing's a slam dunk when it comes to fair use, but this is a pretty as close as you're going to get to a slam dunk when it comes to this kind of stuff as you're going to see. So, anyways, I'll leave that there.